You did not start cutting people off because you are cold, dramatic, or emotionally unstable. You started because staying connected was quietly overwhelming your nervous system every single time. Explaining yourself stopped working, and overgiving slowly turned into self-betrayal without relief. Distance was not your preference. It was the fastest way to stop losing energy. Cutting people off felt relieving because nothing else protected you quickly enough. Silence replaced conversations that demanded constant effort without returning emotional safety. You disappeared because presence kept costing more than your system could sustain. For a while, cutting people off worked exactly as intended. You felt calmer, lighter, and less emotionally exposed to unpredictable dynamics. But over time, something uncomfortable became impossible to ignore. Cutting people off became a pattern of leaving and disappearing, where protection slowly hardened into isolation. Not because you wanted to be alone, but because distance felt safer than staying. Each ending solved the moment, but created a heavier long-term cost. You noticed every relational problem was handled the same way. Leave first, disappear quietly, reset alone. Protection stopped feeling like relief and started feeling like confinement. You were not seeking isolation. You were running out of safer options. You are tired of burning bridges just to feel regulated again. And your nervous system is now asking for a better way forward. 1. Cutting people off was a survival strategy. Cutting people off was never a personality flaw or emotional overreaction. It was a survival response formed when boundaries repeatedly failed to protect you. Your system learned that distance stopped harm faster than communication ever did. When explanation led nowhere, silence became the most reliable defense. Leaving first reduced uncertainty, disappointment, and emotional exposure immediately. Your nervous system chose speed over nuance because safety felt urgent. This strategy worked during moments of overload, imbalance, and chronic emotional strain. It prevented further damage when connection consistently demanded self-abandonment. Survival strategies are efficient, not elegant, and rarely designed for long-term connection. They prioritize immediate relief over sustainable relational health. Cutting people off reduced pain, but also reduced options over time. Each use reinforced distance as the primary solution to discomfort. Eventually, survival responses can outlive the conditions that created them. What once protected you can begin limiting growth and flexibility. Recognizing this does not invalidate what you needed before. It simply marks a transition from survival toward regulation. Your system is not wrong for learning this strategy. It is ready to update it. 2. Boundaries work better than disappearing. Disappearing protects you quickly, but boundaries protect you without erasing connection entirely. Boundaries slow interactions down instead of cutting them off abruptly. They reduce emotional cost without requiring complete withdrawal from people. Unlike disappearance, boundaries allow adjustment rather than permanent endings. They communicate limits through consistency, not confrontation or explanation. Your system learns safety without needing to reset everything from zero. Boundaries filter behavior instead of eliminating people immediately. They reveal who respects limits and who resists them naturally. Disappearing removes pressure, but boundaries redistribute responsibility. You stop carrying the entire emotional load alone. Others must meet you halfway or adapt to reduced access. Boundaries protect energy while keeping connection possible. They replace extremes with regulation and flexibility. Instead of leaving first, you stay present with limits intact. This presence feels safer than constant availability. Boundaries teach your system that safety does not require disappearance. They create space without isolation, and space allows clarity without burning bridges. 3. Regulation replaces reaction. Cutting people off was a reaction to overwhelm, not a regulated response to discomfort. Reactions happen fast, but they collapse complexity into only one option. Regulation slows your system enough to create multiple choices. Instead of disappearing, you pause, reduce exposure, and reassess emotional cost. Regulation allows discomfort without forcing immediate escape. Your nervous system learns it can stay present without being consumed. This shift changes how safety is experienced internally. You stop associating connection with danger or depletion automatically. Regulation creates tolerance for nuance instead of forcing extremes. You no longer need to end relationships to protect yourself. You adjust pace, access, and availability without dramatic exits. This keeps your system grounded rather than constantly resetting through isolation. Reaction removes people quickly. Regulation teaches your body to remain stable within connection. That stability reduces the urge to flee at the first sign of imbalance. You become less reactive, not less selective. Regulation refines boundaries instead of replacing them with disappearance. This is how protection becomes sustainable rather than destructive. 4. You can protect energy without closing your heart. Protecting your energy does not require emotional shutdown or permanent disconnection from people. It requires clarity about limits, capacity, and what feels sustainable over time. You can stay open while reducing access to what overwhelms you. You can care without constantly proving it through availability or overgiving. Protecting energy means choosing how much you engage, not whether you disappear. It allows warmth to exist alongside boundaries instead of replacing one with the other. Your heart does not need to close for your nervous system to feel safe. Safety grows when limits are respected, not when connection is erased. You stop equating openness with exposure and distance with protection. Instead, you learn to modulate closeness based on regulation, not fear. This approach keeps connection possible without making it compulsory. You remain reachable without being constantly accessible. Your energy stays intact because it is no longer leaked unconsciously. Protection becomes intentional rather than reactive. This preserves humanity without sacrificing stability. You do not lose yourself to connection anymore. And you do not lose connection to protect yourself. That balance is the better way your system has been searching for. 5. A better way is sustainable, not extreme. A better way does not require disappearing, cutting ties, or resetting your life repeatedly. It requires regulation that holds connection and protection at the same time. Extreme solutions feel powerful because they end discomfort quickly, but they also limit growth, flexibility, and future connection unnecessarily. Sustainability means fewer dramatic exits and more intentional adjustments. You protect energy by pacing access, not erasing people entirely. This allows your system to stay calm without defaulting to isolation. You stop confusing safety with distance and danger with closeness. Instead, safety becomes something you maintain through awareness and boundaries. This approach feels unfamiliar if survival shaped your past choices. But unfamiliar does not mean unsafe. It means your system is learning something new. You no longer need to disappear to feel regulated. You no longer need extremes to feel protected. You can stay present without being consumed. You can set limits without burning bridges. That is the better way your nervous system has been asking for. And once learned, it replaces disappearance with stability.